Welcome back to Shelf Life, where I share some of the best in young adult literature for teens, teachers, and adults of all ages. I'm your host, Patricia Emerson, and this year we'll explore titles that take us places. Our first adventure awaits. It's a turn-the-page tour of the Pacific coast from Alaska to Hawaii, and away we go. First stop, the Inupiaq village in northern Alaska. It's 1960, and Alaska is a brand new state. Luke and his brothers are being sent to the Alaskan interior to a Catholic school because the Bureau of Indian Affairs schools won't take kids as young as his brothers. The remote Alaskan villages don't have schools yet, but statehood requires an education. Eskimos survive, and Luke knows that even though he doesn't want to go as a teen, he must, and it'll be better with his brothers by his side. He can protect them. So they lift off in a small plane to some place with no parents, no grandparents, no babies, only big orange buses and trees and teachers choking on our names. In My Name Is Not Easy, Debbie Dahl Edwardson recreates the journey of uprooted Alaskan natives through the eyes of teens whom the law has forced to leave their homes, their families, their cultures behind to be educated. The school is foreign in every way. It is set deep in the interior, 400 miles from Fairbanks, in a wide, dense forest. Trees choke out the sky and lapping waves, and the only home that Luke has known. At Sacred Heart Catholic School, he is surrounded by others who have experienced this same dislocation. Distrust and rivalry exist between the Eskimos and Indians and the few whites. The young teens must find their way together to survive these efforts to civilize them. We experience their isolation and their helplessness, their gradual adjustment to foreign landscape and culture. Time away from all they've ever known could create solidarity, could empower them, give them a proud, unified voice. But will it? My Name Is Not Easy. Kate Alice Marshall's gritty thriller, I Am Still Alive, takes us into a similar unforgiving landscape in northern Canada this time. Jess must spend the summer there with her father, whom she hasn't seen for over a decade. They are just beginning to reconnect when he is murdered. Now, Jess has only her father's faithful dog, Bo, for company, and her wits, and she will depend on both to survive. As brutal as the wilderness is, Jess cannot surrender. She knows who killed her dad, even if she's not sure why. She must live long enough to seek justice or revenge. This novel is not for the weak. I'm so cold and so hungry, and I don't know what to do. The shelter's gone, my feet are bloody, I can't get warm. The canoe is gone too, it's floating offshore. I must not have pulled it up enough when I got back, and it floated free. It's only 30 feet away, but I can't swim after it. No more fish, no more bullets. I am so hungry. Fear and hunger and desperation drive Jess forward. Will that be enough when the final showdown comes? This novel will keep you turning pages, but it is only for the hardiest. Heading south, we arrive at Puget Sound, where Miles O'Malley, an unlikely hero, lives. He's a nerdy, funny teen, an only child whose life revolves around the tides and the sea life they hide and reveal every day. His explorations are his own. Not even his parents are aware when he sneaks out under the cover of darkness until the fateful morning when he encounters a giant squid, a species never fully seen before, and one that should never have washed up in his small corner of the world, the local bay. Busted. Miles can no longer explore undercover. Now the scientific community is watching, and with them comes the spotlight and media attention. Center stage, Miles makes some new discoveries about his potential. When his pre-dawn junkets lead him to yet another unprecedented discovery, Miles wonders if maybe all the hype about his being chosen in some way bears a bit of truth. What is going on? The professor groaned. What in God's name is this ragfish doing here? That was probably the moment when I started secretly wondering whether I was being used as a messenger of sorts. All that self-grandeur over finding a couple of dead animals may sound childish and delusional, but you weren't the 13-year-old standing out there on the freakishly warm phosphorescent night with those two overgrown scientists exchanging spooked and excited glances, their flashlights winking off that fish, making it look even more unworldly than it ever would in daylight, as if it were some relic the ocean had spat up to remind us just how little we know. What is Miles' role in all of this? The Highest Tide by Jim Lynch is a rare combination of mystery, humor, and intelligence, with Miles and the Pacific at its center. Not far from Puget Sound lies the city of Portland, Oregon, home to Renee Watson's Jade, the main character in Piecing Me Together. Jade lives in a poor neighborhood, yes, but it's home to her. She collects scraps that people discard and uses them to create collages, beauty from junk. Every day she travels by bus across town to attend a private school that takes her from her friends and her comfort zone, away from those who look like her. It does, however, offer her greater opportunity. The main one, the one that drew her there in the first place, is travel in her junior year. But as a junior, she finds herself instead a member of the mentor program, Woman to Woman, an opportunity she really doesn't want. She's tired of being the recipient of others' good intentions. Then she's denied a place in the travel group and silently seethes over the unfairness. Through her experience with the mentorship program, her exposure to the city she's called home but hasn't fully understood, she grows, gaining confidence, and finds her voice. How will Jade struggle to address injustice when she can no longer deny it exists? Resolve. Jade and Portland share the stage in this powerful and timely novel. We've arrived. It's Pasadena, California, August. August in Pasadena, fire, heat, and ash as the Santa Ana winds blow out of the west, scouring the dead fronds from palm trees, igniting the manzanita and chaparral. It's the song of Southern California, fire, mud, and earthquake. Tear it down, build it up. A phone call delivers the news. Jude's best friend Maggie is dead, drowned in her backyard pool. Once it's ruled a suicide, Jude sets out to prove how that just can't be true. Not Maggie, her rock, smart, funny, and a rebel. And not with those drugs in her system. Maggie didn't do drugs. As she investigates the small circle of her peers dear to Maggie, Jude uncovers a darkness beneath Maggie's surface. Relationships she never knew about, secrets that Maggie kept. She learns that someone can be your best friend in the world, but you're not necessarily theirs. We are caught up in this mystery that belies the incandescent warmth and brightness of Southern California. Read Pasadena, and you too will be swept away. Last up, we land on the island of Molokai, a small and lesser-known one of the Hawaiian Islands. There's where Rani Patel lives and makes music in secret, because who would believe that this petite 16-year-old could represent? If they only knew that she spends her time composing hip-hop lyrics to express the complexity of her life. Molokai, like Rani, is suffering its own growing pains. The native people want to protect their land, their water rights from developers who see only dollar signs. This struggle, too, finds its way into Rani's lyrics. When Rani is invited to audition for an exclusive and little-known club, Forever Flow, the only female ever to do so, she knows her time has come. No one talks about rap on Molokai. It doesn't add up. On this island, it's all about reggae and Hawaiian. That's where it's everywhere, oozing out of trucks, cars, and houses, kids on the beach playing ukulele and singing it. It blends into the culture and adds a bit of defiance to traditional Hawaiian music, a subtle non-Western rhythmic form of resistance woven into daily life. I don't know what to make of this Forever Flowin', but I know what I've got to do, because I know that rap's there for me, that it'll save me whenever I need it. And that no one's gonna mess with me and that. Even if rap and hip hop are less common in this culture, Rani, as a Gujarati Indian, child of a loveless and disintegrating arranged marriage, with a father who wraps her in emotional chains, knows that her liberation lies within. Rani has lain dormant, but her time to erupt is now. Don't miss Rani Patel in full effect by Sonia Patel. MC Sutras in the house. There is no frigate like a book. Emily Dickinson said that. And I say the next best thing to actually being there is page-turning travel with imagination fully in gear. Hope you'll travel with me again next time. See you then.